Welcome to Cat Socialization. My name is Virginia and I work in the behavior department here at the Santa Fe Humane Society. We're going to be talking about cat socialization and things that you can do as a volunteer to keep our cats happy, healthy, and ready for adoption. We're going to be looking at some of the places where you can find supplies, how to pick up cats, and other things that you're going to be doing as a volunteer. A link to the handbook that you'll need as a cat socialization volunteer can be found below. Okay, so we're going to take a look at some of the areas where cats are housed here at the Humane Society. You're going to be going into these areas to interact with our cats. The first area is our kitten room, which is for kittens who are available for adoption. In here are our adult cats. We have individual kennels for cats who are not really interested in socializing with other cats. We also have colony rooms, which will hold more than one cat. You as a volunteer are going to be able to go into either of these areas, but we do want you to wear your apron and volunteer name tag at all times so we can identify you as a volunteer. So, as a socialization volunteer, we have some primary objectives. First of all, we need our cats to stay mentally alert, affectionate and friendly, physically fit, and again, most importantly, adoptable. So ways you can help are by socializing our animals. You're going to be maintaining their comfort and health by monitoring them for illness and signs of behavioral issues. Potentially welcoming adopters if you are comfortable doing that. And we're going to also ask that you help maintain our cat room and kitchen. Also, if you're looking to do more, we are always looking for volunteers who are willing to work in our off-site areas. We do have cats available at PetSmart. Volunteers who work there need to do a little extra as far as cleaning and care for the cats, but if you're interested, please contact our volunteer coordinator for more information. So let's talk about what you'll need to do in order to socialize the cats. We want you to have a game plan when you're coming in for the day so that you are safe, the cats are safe, and you know what you're going to be doing throughout the day. First of all, we want you to protect yourself from scratches and bites. You can do this by wearing long-sleeved clothing, long pants, and closed-toed shoes. We will ask that you wear that on every volunteer shift that you come to. Again, we're also going to want you to wear your volunteer apron and name tag at all times so we can recognize you as a volunteer. If you have cats at home, we want you to change out of your clothes that your cats have interacted with you in, and we want you to wear new, fresh clothes here. This is to help prevent spread of disease to the shelter cats, and it also keeps your cat smell off of them. Cats are very sensitive to smell. We don't want these guys getting frightened by your cat at home. So just wear nice clean clothes when you come here. We want you to also turn off your cell phone and not wear earbuds when you're interacting with our cats. We need you to be aware of what they're doing at all times and of the environment around you. So just go ahead and silence your phone, take out the earbuds when you're interacting with them. First things first, you're going to want to check with staff to see if our cuddle room is available. The cuddle room is the area where we have potential adopters interact with a cat that they're interested in. So sometimes it is being used. However, if it's not, it is available for our volunteers and we encourage you to use it because it's a larger area than most cats are given here, and it gives them a chance to stretch their legs and play. You also need to decide whether you want to socialize only adult cats or if you'd also like to interact with kittens. If you do want to interact with kittens when you come here, you need to start with the youngest kittens first, work your way to older kittens, finally do adult cats last. This is because not all of our kittens have had all of their immunizations, so we want to make sure that they are staying safe from any pathogens that the older cats may have. The final group of cats that you'll want to socialize are cats that have transmissible diseases like FIV. In a little while, we're going to be taking a look at our cat room whiteboard. This will tell you which cats do have serious diseases that need to be handled very last. If you plan on interacting with them, and we encourage you to visit with those cats, you need to do it at the very end of the day and immediately leave the shelter once you've done that. Again, if you have cats at home, you're going to want to take off your clothes that you were wearing here and put on fresh clothes. So again, we don't spread any diseases from the cats here to your cats at home. So this is our volunteer cat whiteboard. This is all the information that you're going to need to decide which cats you're able to handle and which cats you might want to stay away from. You can see that we've got a lot of magnets here on the board. Don't let that confuse you. There are basically two different types of magnets. One are these colorful magnets that you can see here. They're different shapes, different sizes, different colors, but those are all socialization ones. This shows the cats that have been socialized today by volunteers. All right, the other type of magnet that we have are these right here, and you can see we've got a variety of exclamation marks, question marks, negative feline. There's a guide on the last sheet of the handout that'll explain what those symbols mean and what they mean for you as far as which cats to handle. Very quickly, and we've got a copy of it here on the board just in case you do not bring your handbook with you. Exclamation mark cats, those are cats you want to handle with care. They may nip or scratch if they get too excited. They can play rough, so just handle them with care. Cats with a pound sign, you want to approach them slowly. Those cats can be scared very easily, so we want you to spend some extra time getting to know them before you reach your hand into the kennel. You can play with toys on the outside of the cage with them, maybe bring them some treats, but spend some time getting them used to you before you reach your hand in to pet them. Cats with an X, like Stu right here, those are cats that we do not want you to handle. They are currently being cared for by our behavior staff, so we just ask that you not interact with them when they're on the adoptions floor. Cats with a negative FEL, negative feline sign. These are cats who do not like other cats at all and have shown a lot of behaviors that lead us to believe that they should not interact with other cats. If you do pick them up, we're going to have you pick them up in such a way that they're not facing other cats, and obviously never put them into a room with other cats. And finally, cats with a question mark. These are cats who are stimulation biters, so we want you to handle them sparingly. You can still interact with them. Again, you may want to play with toys from the outside of the cage or offer them treats before putting your hand in, and watch for signs like a twitching tail to see if they're becoming overstimulated. So whenever you come in to socialize cats, what we're going to have you do is not only check the whiteboard to see if it's a cat that you should or should not handle, but we're also going to have you take a magnet from the board and put it on the cat that you plan on socializing today. That lets other volunteers know that that cat has been socialized, and it also lets them know how many times it's been socialized. So say we were going to go see Spunky here. I just put my magnet there. He's been seen twice today by volunteers. Little Ava has not been seen at all, so she might be a good cat to start with. This is our cat kitchen. You can see we've got a lot of stuff in here, but the main thing that you need to know about is our sink and our mop bucket. If you're using the cat cuddle room, or if you've used toys with a cat, once you're done with those, we want you to take them and put them here in the sink. Don't worry about them afterwards. We will go ahead and clean them. Our mop bucket is always going to be ready to go. All you'll need to do is squeeze out the excess water, hopefully a little more neatly than I just did, and then it's ready to go. Go ahead and put it back in this room when you're done. We also have cat toys in here. We also do have trash in here. Now you can see that we've got two big gray trash cans here. One is actually for trash and one holds our fresh kitty litter. Try not to get those confused. Oftentimes the trash will also have kitty litter in it, so if you are ever confused, just ask our staff and we'll get you set up with that. Okay, so if you need a towel or blankets to either hold a cat and carry them, or if you just want to have a nice place for them to lay down in the cuddle room, those are located in our laundry room, which is in the back hallway of our building. So we're going to go take a look at those right now. So this is our laundry room. This is for all of the animals in the adoption building. So we have tons of beds, towels, and blankets in here. And we have this big white tub, all right? Now this is almost always in this room, and this is where you're gonna put any dirty blankets or towels that you use. Don't worry about which ones to grab. You're welcome to use anything in this room. Just remember to go ahead and put it away once it's dirty. There's also extra toys in the buckets in the back of the room. So if you ever don't have cat toys available in the cat kitchen or under the whiteboard, they'll be in here. Now these are dog and cat toys, so you'll just have to dig through until you find what you need in there. Now this room is right across the hall from our cat nursery. We don't always have kittens in here, but when we do, You are welcome to handle them, but there are some special precautions that you'll need to know about in here. So this is our kitten nursery. This is where we're going to house any kittens who have not been fully vaccinated yet. Because of that, they are especially sensitive to communicable diseases, so there are some special precautions that we want you to use when handling them. You can see that normally they're with their litter mates, although we may have single kittens in here from time to time. So we treat each kennel separately. What that means is that when we come into this room, we're going to want you to wear gloves when handling the cats. You don't need to change the gloves in between each kitten, but we do want you to change them between each kennel of kittens. So what you'll do, sanitize your hands, put on some gloves, handle the kittens from only one kennel first. Go ahead and take off the gloves, sanitize your hands with some hand sanitizer, put on a fresh pair of gloves, go to the next kennel. We do want you to go from youngest to oldest. So in this one, the kittens are like about a month and a half old. These guys are a little older, so we would start with the youngest ones and then go to the older ones. We do have toys in here specifically for our nursery kittens. We don't like to mix these up with our adult cat toys. So you can see there's a special box of them right up here. After you use them, hard toys are going to go into the sink in the cat kitchen, and soft toys are going to go into the white bin in the laundry room across the hall. You won't have to worry about feeding or cleaning up these guys. Just spend some time playing with them and socializing them. This is our adoptable kitten room. These guys have had either all or at least most of their vaccinations. They also need socialization. Much like the kitten nursery, we're going to treat each one of these kennels individually, but if there's more than one kitten in a kennel, you do not need to wash your hands in between each kitten. Be careful when you're holding these guys. Kittens, more than adult cats, are likely to scratch just because they're not as inhibited about their behavior as adult cats. They like to climb, so they may try and climb up your shirt. We do want you to hold them in a football hold, which is what you'll see later in this video. We never want you to scruff them. Yes, mother cats scruff their kittens. We are not adult cats. We're not their mommies. We do not need to scruff these guys when picking them up. This is our cat cuddle room. So this is the room where we will have potential adopters meet cats that they're interested in. It's also the room that if you want to spend a little extra time with a cat or give them a little extra energy, we encourage you to come in here. You can use toys like this wand toy to play with a cat. You can also just come in here to sit with them, pet them, get them used to being in this room because we want them to be comfortable as possible in here. That way when they meet a new person, this isn't an unfamiliar area for them. When you use this room, you're going to make sure that it's clean before you use it. If there are toys like this one, we're going to have you take it out of the room. We also want to make sure that the floor is clean. This is an important part of keeping our cats healthy. If you feel like the floor is dirty, we want you to get a mop from the cat kitchen and just give the floor a quick mop before you bring a cat in here. We're also going to have you mop and clean after you handle a cat in here. Again, this is to help prevent the spread of diseases. So we're going to talk a little bit about cat body language to start out. Since this is a cat socialization position, what we're going to be having you do is interact with the cats in their cages and also in our cuddle room. We need you to be able to recognize how they're responding to you and just their overall mood. We do have a chart that shows different areas of a cat's body and what they will look like depending on how they're feeling. So for instance, their tail, when they're feeling normal, will be up in a hello flag or not moving. If they're fearful, it'll be tucked or puffed. If they're aggressive, it'll be puffed or rapidly twitching. So you can go ahead and take a look at this chart and familiarize yourself with different ways that cats express their emotions. It'll help you recognize whether a cat is feeling interested in interacting with you or if you should skip that cat for the day. One thing that we especially want you to be aware of are what are called overstimulation biters. Cats who become overstimulation biters tend to start out showing normal cat behavior. They may approach you, they may purr, they're interested in being pet, but after petting them for a little while, they become too excited by the stimulation and they may start to have their tail switch around. They may start to turn around rapidly and face your hand. If you notice a cat that's doing this, it's a danger signal. It means that they may be ready to swat you with their paw or may even bite you. So we'll ask that if you see any behaviors like that, stop petting the cat for the day and move on to the next cat. This is the inside of our cat condo area. So this is the back side of the kennels that members of the public can only see the front side of. You are allowed to come in here. We do not want members of the public in here, however. What we're going to talk about a little bit now is how to assess a cat and see whether or not they're interested in being handled by you. When you approach a cat, we're going to have you come to the front of the kennel and either use a toy or your hand to present to the cat and see if they come up and sniff. Now Levi here is showing that he's interested. You can see his nose is twitching. He's sniffing my hand a little bit. He's showing that he's interested in socializing with me today. So the next step is to open our kennels. All you need to do to open these is to flip that bar upwards. That's going to open up the door, and then you can pull it open like this. Make sure the cats don't jump onto the floor. If they accidentally get out, we do want you to mop this floor in here. Next step here is to just offer your hand again. And you can see he's turning away a little bit. He might not be interested in saying hi to me today. And if a cat does that, that's fine. You can just close the door and move on to the next cat. Signs that you want to watch out for are their ears folding back, hissing, or any signs of aggression. Dilation of eyes is another thing that you're going to want to watch for. Any signs like that, please take your hand out of the kennel, shut the door, move on to the next cat. Social cats are ones that are going to be up towards the front of the kennel. They're going to be interested in saying hi to you. Some of the cats you'll notice when they come up to the front of the kennel, they'll even stick their paws out and try and get your attention. Those are cats that we know are social and will definitely want your attention, but we'd also like you to spend some time with cats who are not necessarily as forward or coming up to you, because sometimes our shyer guys just need a little bit of socialization to become really great pets and really adoptable. This is Kiki. You can see Kiki's rubbing on the bars. Kiki really wants to say hi to us. I'm going to open the door. I'm going to make sure Kiki doesn't jump out. And I'm going to offer my hand. And you can see she even leaned into my hand a little bit. So she's very interested in saying hi. So this is the type of behavior that you're going to look for a cat who definitely is going to be a good choice to socialize today. You can see her eyes are nice and squinty. Her body's nice and curved. Her tail's up. This is a cat who's really interested in getting some pets. So when you're done socializing a cat, just go ahead, close the door, flip the latch to close it, and then go ahead and get some gel to sanitize your hands. You can also wash them in the sink in the kitchen. If you notice any cats making sneezing sounds like Kiki just did, that's something that we want you to report to a member of staff or send to the volunteer observation email. Cats who are sick can very easily spread disease in a close environment like this. So tell us so that we can get the cat the right treatment that it needs. So let's talk a little bit about picking cats up. There's a very specific way that we would prefer that you hold cats, which is called a football hold. If you think about a football pose, we're going to have the back end of the cat underneath your arm and its front paws in your other hand. We're going to see if Kiki will let us do that. Hey, Kiki. Once you've met the cat, you've given it some pets, you know that it's a friendly kitty and that it's okay with you picking it up. You're going to go ahead and scoop up its back end. And you can see I've got Kiki's back feet in my back hand. And I've got her front feet in my front hand. And Kiki does not like the kitty next door, so we're going to hold her this way. And you can see she's pretty comfortable this way, but if she were to get excited or upset and wanted to jump or claw, she's facing away from my body, which means that she will be jumping out of my arms rather than towards my face. When you let them go ahead and have them facing into the kennel and just let them go as gently as possible. And you can see Kiki's still my friend, even though she hissed at her neighbor. So let's talk a little bit about handling the unexpected, which happens quite a bit here, and we want you to know what to do if you get a scratch, a bite, or if a cat attempts to scratch or bite you, and also what to do if a cat escapes. If you ever have a cat who bites you and it breaks the skin, we need to know about that right away. Please find a member of our staff immediately and tell them that you've been bitten. We'll go through the process and some paperwork with you to make sure that you're taken care of. If a cat bites you but does not break skin, or if they scratch you, or if they attempt to bite or scratch you, we also need to know that information. You can tell a member of staff, or you can report it to the volunteer observation email. This is important to us because not only do we want you to be safe and we need to tell other volunteers if they shouldn't handle a particular cat, it also tells us at the behavior department that cat may need a special behavior plan to make it more adoptable. If a cat tries to escape, we have a lot of doors leading out of our cat adoption area. Because of this, if any of those accidentally are open and a cat gets out, please let our staff know. We will help you get the cat. We just want to make sure that if they are scared or if they are possibly aggressive, that you've got some help getting the cat back into the kennel where it belongs. Another thing that we want you to keep an eye out for are signs of sickness in our cats. Kiki earlier sneezed. Something like that is something that we want you to report. Other things that you might see are goopy boogers in the eyes or around the nose, missing patches of fur, or red marks on the skin. Ringworm is very common, especially in kittens. It's very, very communicable with other cats, so we want to catch it as soon as possible. So if you see anything like that, or any signs of an upper respiratory disease, let us know as soon as possible so that we can get that cat treatment. So let's talk a little bit about dealing with the public. You are welcome to speak with our potential adopters and talk about our cats. We don't mind you saying hello to them as they enter the cat rooms. If you're not comfortable saying hi to our potential adopters, that's fine too. If they ask you about a cat and you don't know the answer to their questions, point them to a member of staff and we'll be happy to answer any questions that they have about particular cats. If you do know about a specific cat and have spent time socializing with them and you'd like to tell the potential adopter about it, you are welcome to do so. Just make sure that you're very specific about how you talk to the adopter about the cat. We don't want you to sugarcoat anything for the potential adopter. Miss Kiki over here, if I were talking to somebody about her, I wouldn't use phrases like, "This is the best cat ever," "She's gonna be the best cat you've ever had," "She would never bite." Phrases like those that are very general, we want you to avoid them. What I would say instead is, I've spent some time with Kiki. She's very sweet with me. Every time that I've visited with her, she's let me pet her and cuddle with her. She's been very sweet with me. So be as specific as possible. Let's also talk about declawing. Declawing is a process whereby you're removing the claws of a cat. But it's not just like removing a fingernail. You're actually removing the first digit of each toe when you're declawing a cat. It's a process that we feel is unnecessary. It's fairly cruel to the animals. It is still a legal procedure, however. We will not deny people an adoption based on wanting to declaw a cat, but it is something that we want to talk to potential adopters about. So if you're ever in the cat rooms and you happen to be talking to a potential adopter, or if you happen to just overhear them talk about declawing, please let them know that they need to speak with a member of staff, and we're just going to discuss declawing with them and our feelings on it. So thank you for watching this video. We appreciate you being a volunteer here at the Santa Fe Humane Society. Your next steps are going to be to write down the 3 pop quiz questions that have been throughout this video and email the questions along with your answers to our volunteer coordinator. Then they'll be in contact with you for the next steps to becoming a cat socialization volunteer. Thanks and have a great day.